Tonight's lesson 9.3 is on coordinate graphs part 2. The screencast tonight will cover a review of how to plot ordered pairs on a grid and a review of fractions and volume from today's math boxes. I thought there were a couple things that we should review and go over. So let's take a look at this next slide. So first of all, just getting comfortable with looking at this grid and understanding what's on it. Over here on the right side, these are the positive numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up to 6. So I'm on this x-axis right here. So this is the one that's horizontal, and we're always going to refer to that as x. And if I move to the left, the numbers become negative. So negative 1, 2, and so on up to 6. And we can also say, let me just grab my pen here so you can see what I'm pointing to. I can also say that, let's grab some color and say that this spot right here, if I'm pointing to 2, is opposite of this spot right here, negative 2. Those are opposite places on the number line. Okay. Some other things to notice. So here's the y-axis going vertically, and if I move up, it's positive, and if I move down, it's negative. And then one last thing, get rid of that spot. There we go. Are the 4 quadrants. And so sometimes you'll hear people refer to the quadrants. Which quadrant is it in? And this one right here is quadrant number 1. And as you can see, Roman numerals are how we name them. So here's quadrant 1. All the plotted points on this side are going to be positive. And then over here, the x-axis will be negative, and the y-axis will be positive. So the first number in each case will be negative, and the second in that pair will be positive. Then moving down to quadrant 3, these are going to be negative, negative. And over to quadrant 4, starting with the horizontal, it's going to be positive and then negative. All right, so we're going to go ahead and I'm just going to model for you plotting some points on here. I'm going to flip back and forth between these two slides. So let's see if we can take a look at this one. So the first one here, let's plot these points. So the first one, 3, negative 5. So let's go back. 3, negative 5. So 3 tells me I need to move over 1, 2, 3. So here's my 3. And then negative 5. So because it's negative, I'm going to move down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to plot my point right there. Now let's go to the second one. Second one is negative 1, 0. So going back to plotting it. Negative 1, 0. So x-axis is first, so I'm going to go to the left this time, negative 1, and it's 0, so I'm going to put it right there on the line. Okay, because this point right here is really 0, 0. So here I am at negative 1 and 0, because I'm not going to go up or down. Okay, and let's go to the next one. 4, negative 4. So I move over 4 places. Sorry, 4, negative 4. So I'm going to go to the right. 4 and then negative 4. There we are, right there. And next one, 0, negative 4. So 0 right here on the x and negative 4 for the y. Okay, and next we have positive 5, positive 2. So positive 5, positive 2. And the last one is a positive 1 and a positive 6. So over to the right 1, up 6. Okay. And so if I wanted to talk about this, I could say there are 2 points that were plotted, these order pairs that were plotted in quadrant 1. This one's kind of tricky because it's sort of in the middle of quadrant 2 and quadrant 3. And then same with this one here because it's on the 0. And then there's 2 points plotted in quadrant 4 over here. All right, so let's see. I guess that's all I wanted to show you there. If we were to go ahead and write these out, we could just do this here. So sometimes you're asked to write your ordered pairs there right next to where you plotted it. So again, just a little bit of review. This would be 1, 6. And you could do the same for each one of these. Okay, so now let's move down to the review. So what I want you to do is go through each of these problems, and if I scroll down, there's 6 problems, okay? And I want you to do each of these. I want you to pause the video, complete these problems, and then I want you to come back and look at the answers and review what you got with what I'm going to demonstrate for you. So pause the video and then come back to it. Alright, so let's go over the solutions to these problems. So 1 2/3, we're going to convert that to a mixed number. So 3 times 1 is 3 plus 2 is 5. So we get 5 over 3 times, and then we're going to change this to 3 over 1. So we write the whole number as a fraction, and now we can multiply straight across. Numerator times numerator, 5 times 3 is 15, and denominator times denominator. 3 times 1 is 3, 15 over 3, which equals 5. Second problem, 7½ minus 2 3/4. We're going to find the common denominator. So the common denominator is 4, so we change the 7½ to 7 2/4. But we can't subtract 3/4 from 2/4, so we're going to borrow 1 whole from the 7, making this a 6. If we borrow 1 whole, it's the same as 4/4. So 4/4 plus 2/4 is 6/4. Now we can subtract 3/4 from 6/4. And that leaves us with 3/4, and then the whole numbers, we subtract 6 minus 2 to give us 4. And let's come down to the next problem. 5 2/6 plus 1 2/3. So our new denominator is going to be 6ths, so this stays the same. On the bottom mixed number, it'll be 1 4/6. And then we're going to go ahead and add those together. So 4 plus 2, which is 6. So we get 6 6 there, and 5 plus 1, which is 6. So 6 and 6 6, which equals 7. All right, so now we're going to come to these 2 division problems. Let's put a pin on there. Okay. So the 2 division problems, what we're going to do is take that division sign and change it to a multiplication sign. So we're going to rewrite 5 as a fraction, so that's going to be 5 over 1, and then we're going to multiply by the reciprocal of 2/3. We're going to flip it upside down, and that's 3 over 2. So 5 times 3 is 15, and 1 times 2 is 2. 15 over 2 is the same as 7½. And then moving down to the next problem, 3/4 divided by 1/2. So again, 3/4 times, we're changing the division to times, multiplication symbol, and then we're going to take the inverse or the reciprocal of 1/2, which is 2 over 1. So it's only the divisor in each case that we're going to flip and change it to its reciprocal. This first number is going to always stay the same. It's the second one, which is the divisor, that we switch and flip it. So this is 3/4 times 2 over 1. 3 times 2 is 6. And then on the denominator, 4 times 1 is 4. 6 over 4, which equals 1 2/4. And we can simplify that to 1 1/2. And then let's just scroll down for that problem on volume. And it says, what is the volume of the cube? So the first thing we know about a cube is that all the sides are the same. So if we know that this is 5 centimeters here, so is every other side. And we know that the formula for finding that is, formula for volume is the area of the base times the height. So if we look at, in this case, the area of the base is a square. So we're just going to go length times width. So that will give us the area of the base, and that's 25, times the height, which is 5. So it's basically 5 to the 3rd power, 5 times 5 times 5, which is 125, and this time it's cubic centimeters because we're finding volume.